The race to succeed Bill Delahunt in the 10th congressional district is heating up, especially on the Republican side. The two major contenders are Representative Jeff Perry, of Republican from Sandwich, been on the show many times, and the other major contender is Joe Malone, the former state treasurer of the Commonwealth for 2 terms. And we invited Jeff Perry to be on with us tonight. There have been some more stories. It started yesterday in the Quincy Patriot Ledger, and that there's a follow-up story today in the Cape Cod Times. Jeff Perry, who's had some problems with accusations about his career as a police officer and whether he did the right thing with a member of the force, one of his patrolmen when he was a sergeant for the Wareham Police Department. Now there are allegations that Jeff Perry got a degree, a quote unquote degree, from a diploma mill, and it was called Columbia State. And less than 2 years after Columbia State was created in the state of Louisiana, the state attorney general's office issued a preliminary injunction against Columbia State, saying it violated the state's fair trade laws. And on his first campaign website, when he was first running for state rep 8 years ago, Perry stated that he was awarded a bachelor's degree in business administration with a minor in management, and had a grade point average of 3.8 at Columbia State. According to 2004 testimony in 2004 before a U.S. Senate committee from a former Columbia State employee, all students had to do was receive a bachelor's, master's, or doctoral degree. All they had to do was pay a fee, then complete a textbook summary and write a short paper, and the degree was mailed to students in roughly a month. Columbia State University had no faculty, qualified or otherwise, no curriculum, no classes, no courses, no tests, no one-to-grade tests, no educational facilities, no library, and no academic accreditation. There was nothing that could pass for academic rigor at Columbia State University. That's she helped operate the fake university. Now, Perry said he told the Cape Cod Times he does not remember how much he paid for his bachelor's degree or how long it took him to earn it. He said he's not included the Columbia State degree on any resume since the school was exposed as a fraud. He said there was no reason to represent himself because he already had an associate degree from Bristol Community College and a bachelor's degree from Curry College. Now, we tried to get Jeff Perry to come on tonight to discuss the quote-unquote degree from the diploma mill, and he said he couldn't make it tonight, but he'll be on Monday night. But his opponent, Joe Malone, is on the show right now. His spokesman said that at some point, Alicia Preston said at some point Jeff Perry needs to consider getting out of this race. Joe, those are strong words. Do you agree with your spokesman's statement?
Well, Howie, first of all, thanks for having me on, and secondly, the context of her remarks were that the reporter and reporters for the last few days have been saying, geez, Jeff Perry is blaming Joe Malone, and this is what he did with the Wareham sex scandal there. And, my feeling on it, and it was Alicia's, is, wait a minute, stand up. You can't hide. You can't run. You can't mislead. You got to answer the questions. You can't say, this is Joe Malone's fault. In fact, it sounds a little bit like some of the people down in Washington 18 months later wanting to say it's George Bush's fault. He's got to take responsibility, and that's what led Alicia to say, I think he needs to give some consideration to getting out of this race. And what the next sentence in her mind, she told me, was, because if you can't stand up and take responsibility for your actions, even in the toughest times, then you don't belong down in Congress. Too many people are doing that now.
Now, do you think that he knew that this was a fake university and was just using it to inflate his credentials, or do you take him at his word that he was a victim here?
Well, it's interesting that John Kelly from the Patriot Ledger and George Brennan from the Cape Cod Times and the folks over at the Cape Cod Today that have done really thorough work on this, they've all written the story, and they've included in the story lines like from the president of the firm that went to jail. Everybody knew what they were getting here. Do you think people think that they can get a doctorate or a BA in 21 days? This isn't some revelation to them after the fact. They knew that they were buying a diploma. And so I just don't know how Jeff Perry can see it